Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am here with a video, a different kind of video than I posted before. I am here to tell you guys what I've been working on at school these past 8 weeks. So stay tuned if you want to see what my homework and what my schoolwork looks like for an education major. All right, y'all, so I'm back. I've gathered all of my materials, my books, my papers, all of that stuff, so that I can show you what kind of materials I need every day to succeed in college. Okay, so a typical school week for me starts on Tuesday. So my first class on Tuesday starts at 1 p.m. So at 1 p.m. I go to my second language acquisition class. It lasts from 1 to 3:50, and it's basically where we're learning how students who are learning English as a second language, how they acquire that new language, and what kind of techniques and what kind of things we need to be looking out for to help them learn that second language. So that lasts until 3:50, and the textbook that we use for that class is this right here. It's Key Topics and Second Language Acquisition. So it's a really short book, but every week we read one chapter, and it just basically kind of goes over different concepts. You can see I've made like little notes and stuff. It goes over concepts that we need to know. It asks questions like, how do people acquire the words of a second language? And every week we have a discussion board due. Like this week, we had a discussion board due, and we have to do a mini case study. And that's where we interview someone who learned English as a second language once they made it to the United States. And so we're basically interviewing them to see what their experience was like taking ESL classes. So kind of questions that they ask are like, how was your experience? What did you find to be difficult? Things like that. But this class is pretty cool because, I didn't learn a second language, but I'm going to be teaching a lot of students who are. So I need to know what to be looking out for, or, just things that'll help me, because I don't want to go into a situation blind. I need to get ready for that. So anyways, that's that class. And like I said, it's Tuesday from 1 to 3:50. My second class is literacy assessment for early childhood to 6th grade. And I actually left that book. Hold up. Hold on, I'm coming. Y'all ever have a song in your head? I got that one. Anyways, so the second class that I take on Tuesdays is from 4 to 6:50. That is my literacy assessment and instruction for early childhood to 6th grade. And so I have 2 books for that class. So the first one that we start reading is Observation Survey of Early Literacy Achievement. So this is by Mari Clay. My professors swear by this lady right here. Apparently she came up with some new method for assessing students' literacy. So anyways, we have to read this whole book, and I'm pretty sure we're almost finished. But if you've been watching my vlogs, the class where I go to the elementary school and I assess her learning, that's this class, and that's the book that I've been using. So it shows us how we're supposed to assess them, and it shows us what it's supposed to look like. This book right here, I might end up buying it. As you can see, I got it from Chegg. I rented it, but I'm thinking about buying it because it's really beneficial. Has a lot of good stuff in it. So anyways, the second book that I have to have for that class is the strategies for reading assessment and instruction. So basically these 2 books go hand in hand. So the observation survey book, it tells you what to look out for and what it is. This one shows you the strategies you use once you've assessed your student. So let's say my student is struggling with hearing sounds. Maybe they can hear the sound, but they can't write it down. This book will teach you or show you what you need to do to get your student on track. So these both go hand in hand. And like I said, we've been reading these books from cover to cover. Okay, y'all? But they're both pretty good. And like I said, I might buy this one too. And our professor makes us tab it all. We've read and taken notes on all of these. So again, this is for that class that I go to the elementary school and read with that 1st grader. So Yeah, every week we have something that we have to read. We need to know. We have some kind of video so that we can put it to put what we've been learning to the test with our students. So it's pretty interesting to see stuff that you've been reading in real life. So that's that second class. On Wednesday, I take a class. It's one of my education major classes. So it's learning development and theory. So in that class, we don't actually have a book. Our professor is actually just teaching us how to prepare for our teacher certification exams and how to teach us how to, be teachers whenever we're in the field. So this class is really cool. So for the most part, she shows us what our teaching should be like and what it really will be like. So I like that because, in your mind, you have that fairy tale of, when I become a teacher, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. Well, she breaks it down because she's like, look, the test is going to ask what perfect ISD is like, even though I know, in the real world, it'll be like this. So she makes it really plain. That class is from 8 to 10:50 on Wednesdays. Real fun class, real interactive, the mom. So every week in that class, she asked us we have a lot of discussion boards. If you watch my other vlog, I was working on a Bloom's taxonomy project. And so that was for her class. So basically we're learning how to develop a lesson plan for that, especially for different kind of learners. So that's her class. And then eventually we're going to create a lesson plan and go and try it out on some children. So we'll see how that goes. And then we also will be going to Barnes & Noble and doing some kind of lesson plan with the kids at Barnes & Noble to kind of see how we, like our teaching style and stuff. So I'm kind of excited for that. I go do that on April the 5th, I believe. And it's in Denton. So if you want to bring your kids out, bring them. I'll be there. So on Thursday, I have another reading class. So this one is Phonological and Orthological Principles of Reading. And so this one and my Tuesday reading class, they are tied together. So the concepts that we learn in my Thursday class from 8 to 10:50, we learn to assess them in my Tuesday class. So I love the way they structured this. TW has this all planned out just right. So we use a different book. Actually use a couple different books. We use a couple different books, but this is one. It's called Words Their Way. We actually haven't gotten into reading this one yet. We're going to start working on it this week. Every week in this class, we are learning like different concepts that go into phonology and orthography. So it's not just learning how to read, but it's learning how to break down how children learn to read, how they learn to write, and how they learn to acquire a language. So it's really cool because, like I said, it ties into my first Tuesday class. So I feel like I'm really learning something. And when I get to put it to use, it just makes me feel so good. Like, I like it when stuff that I'm learning is actually being used because, like, I'm paying money to go to school. I want to see it work. Anyways, so on Thursday, I have a night class. So this is my library materials for children. So this is from 6 to 8:50. Y'all, this class is long, but I actually enjoy it. So for that class, we have this book here. It's called Children's Literature Briefly. So it's a pretty short read, but it kind of goes over the different genres of like different books. It tells you like how to classify what a good book is. It gives you some recommendations on some good books, and then in the back it gives you different resources to be able to use to find good text for children to read. So in this class, basically, we're learning how to choose materials for our classroom library, and not just that, but for our students to be able to use to read for fun, to learn. And so we need to be able to classify those different kind of things. So here this class is. So we have this project that is due at the end of the semester. So slowly but surely, we've been building a list of books in different categories they've been discussing in our textbook, and we're eventually going to have to read 40 books, 40 different books. That's chapter books, picture books, all kind of books. And then we're going to have to give a professional and personal review over the text. And so these are a few that I picked: The Honey Hunters, Baseball from A to Z, Bee and Bird, I Am the Book, and this is a poetry book. And then I have some more that I haven't picked up from the library yet, but I have to read all 40 books by the end of the semester and write a professional review on them. And then when I'm finished, that'll go into like my portfolio so that I'll be able to go back and reference it whenever I am actually teaching. So I'm working now on building my classroom library. And I know that's hard to do because I don't know what grade I'm going to teach or, what kind of books my kids will like. But I figure if I start early, I can get all kinds of books. So, yeah. So anyways, that's what I've been working on in those classes. Some of the big things on my to-do list this week, and not just this week, but next week while we're on spring break. One of them is to work on scoring my observation survey tasks. So this is a copy of my running record with my student. So I basically read with her, she read to me, and I dictated how she read it to me. So I did a tick mark for every time she got something right, wrote down her mistakes, and then identify why she made the mistakes. And so like we did this with all kind of different things. So I did running records this week. Last week I did concepts about print. So that's where I was showing you guys that book, Follow Me Moon. Really cool book. I think I'm gonna buy this one too. It shouldn't be too expensive, but as you can see, I got it from Chegg, so I'm gonna buy it. But anyways, it is from Mari Clay. It's attached to my 2 reading classes. So basically what we do, so I can show you guys what we do. So what we do, we're told, so everybody knows this is how the book is, but we're told to hand it to the student upside down and the spine like this, and ask them if they can tell us or show us where the front of the book is. So if they can show us where the front of the book is, then we write a check mark. Then we go to the next page and we ask them, can you point to where I should start? And of course they should point right here, but if they point anywhere else, they don't get a check mark. So we read through the book to them, and I'll just show you a couple little things. So as you can see, it goes this way, and then once we get over here, we ask the student, can you tell me or show me where the bottom of the page is, where the bottom of the picture is? And if they don't identify that this is the bottom of the picture, they don't get a check mark. And so it just goes through like little things like that. Like on this one, the words are upside down. On this one, so you see the period is right here. So this is actually the beginning of the sentence. So they have the lines inverted. So we just go through little things like that and ask them questions. Don't prompt them. Don't tell them that they got it right or wrong. You just write down what you notice the student doing, any comments they make. But yeah, it was really cool to see this kind of stuff, because you just you forget what it's like to not know this stuff. And so being able to sit with a student who knew some stuff, it let me know what we need to work on. So anyways, that's what I've been learning and doing in school. So if you really like this video, give me a thumbs up, comment, or subscribe, and I'll be posting more soon. A typical school day for me, A typical school week for me starts. A typical school week for me. Hold up. I forgot. Okay, look. Can't do nothing without your mic, girl. What you doing?